Okay, so let's get into this. So today I'm going to be talking about how, with God by our side, we are capable of anything and really everything, if we're being honest. So this is really for it can be for young people and older people, but it's really for young people to like understand. Um, so I feel like when it comes to us as young people, we always have, insecurities or something, someone or something is telling us, like, they make us feel smaller than what we really are. And I feel like why would you do that? Like, why would you doubt me just because I'm younger than you, or that you feel like I'm not gonna be enough? And I feel like that happens a lot with us and God, because we feel like no matter how much we do, at least I know for me, sometimes I feel like whatever I do, as a Christian, I feel like sometimes I'm not doing enough for God, but I have to know at the end of the day, like, I am. And at the end of the day, it's small steps that you have to take as like being young. It's small steps that you have to take towards being together with God. Because at the end of the day, we're not gonna be like these adults who are like this with God. We're getting there. And I feel like a great example of this is the story of David and Goliath, because I feel like it's not told enough um, for young people. It's very underrated in the Bible, if I do see it myself. Um, so basically, to sum it up, there's this giant named Goliath, and he came to King Saul and his kingdom, and his main thing was like, you know, come fight me, come take me down. If you're worthy, you got your whole kingdom over there, you know, like, come fight me, like, come on. And there was a specific scripture in there that I saw in Exodus. Oh no, let me see. Sorry, not Exodus. 1 Samuel 17, and it says, "And Saul said to David, you are not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for you are but a youth, and he has been a man of war from his youth." What? Like, what? Sorry, but I'm not trying to throw shade, but like, a lot of adults will say something like this, like, "Oh, you can't do this because you're too young. You can't feel this because you're too young." Like, especially like, not trying to, not trying to throw shade or anything, but some older people will be like, "Oh yeah, you're," they'll be like, "Oh yeah, your back doesn't need to be hurting. You're too young," or something like that, or whatever. But that probably doesn't have anything to do with this, but like, still. Or they doubt your skills or abilities just cause you're young. Like, Saul really had, you have 40 men out here against this giant, but not one man is going up to fight him. What the heck? Like, but you have this one kid, but no, he can't go fight him because he's young. But all these other men, these grown men, can't go and fight Goliath? Like, that makes no sense. And then when David did, eventually fight off Goliath, he only killed him with a single, what's it called? A slingshot and a couple of stones. But your men needed swords and all this, but they didn't even step up in the first place. He only needed a couple of stones and a slingshot. One shot on the head and he's dead. Like, 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 what do you, like, bro? And he didn't have any fear. He had God by his side. He knew that he had God by his side. No fear, just God. Because he knew that in that moment, God was going to protect him from this big giant. And originally, if you're, in children's church, if you grew up as a, pastor's kid, originally I watched this story, in VeggieTales, and they sang a song and they said, "He's big, but God's bigger." And that's so true, because no enemy that we have in this world amounts to the size of God. That one bully you have at school don't matter. It doesn't matter, because God is way bigger. He's bigger than this universe, probably way bigger. Just like, it doesn't it doesn't matter. Like, we have the potential to be larger than those enemies because if with God by our side, we are probably just not too big, but just as big as God. And I know there are times that we can feel small just because you're young, you're young. You know what? Whatever. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter, if we're being honest. I can be young, you can be old. Like, it just makes no sense how you're gonna tell me I'm young, I can't be in, you can't do this church thing, you can't do this, yet you're the same person who's not, oh, every time you come to church, like, there's an excuse. Oh my gosh, I'm so sleepy, guys. I'm so sleepy, guys. Like, I gotta take care of the kids or whatever. Like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But nah, I'm always like, bro, what? Just like, what are you talking about right now? Just go. Just like, how are you gonna tell me? Like, it just makes no sense. Like, are you gonna tell me that I just because I'm young, I can't do what you can do? That makes no sense to me. Because in the end, like, we were all young at one point. So I have a feeling that you feel the same. Same thing I'm feeling, you know, from when you were young. But some people just don't how to know how to understand. They don't know how to go back to a time of when they were young as well, and understand like maybe I should be taking things from their point of view or something like that. But yeah, but yeah, like just know, even you adults, like just know, with God by our side, I know everybody goes through something in their life. It doesn't matter. It's not big nor it's all valid. Everything you go through is valid. So just know that God is always by your side, and you are just as bigger than those enemies, bigger than those fears, bigger than those doubts, bigger than anything. You are, you have the potential. You're capable of fighting those off with God by your side. And now we're going to have our altar call with Jasmine and JP.